No idea. Fuck.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 121 of Ignore the Backlog podcast. My name is The Real Portz, and evil space bunny is here, hippity hopping around.
I'm hippity hopping around.
How dare you?
I'm gonna be down to clown.
Oh, really? On Valentine's Day, huh? Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know what that means. Down to
I
clown.
don't either.
Okay. Down to podcast? Are you down to podcast?
Yeah, we'll say that. I've heard the young Zoomers say that, and I felt like I should say it too.
I feel like that's been around since I was in high school, but I could be wrong. There's so many of those things that sound exactly the same to me that I just don't care anymore.
I mean, you're probably not wrong.
I have it in my head that Zoomers are still saying YOLO, but I don't think they ever said it. It was my generation.
No, I think it was us that said YOLO.
Yeah, but it seemed at the time already I was too old for it, so that's why it confuses me.
Yeah, I think it was like maybe it was an eye-opening moment for me when I was at like a Bed Bath and Beyond, and I saw I saw like a picture, and it was like all these pretty flowers and roses behind it, and then it had text over it that said YOLO, and I was like, no, why? Why? I was like, God,
that's like when the parents
hate
start getting back in on it. It's like, okay, that's dead forever now because you said that.
It's dead. Yep. Mom's gonna hang it up in her bathroom wall.
See, it's your favorite catchphrase.
I got you this for your college. Here you go, honey.
Yeah, put it in the dorm hallway. Everyone will love it.
Oh my God, could you fucking imagine? Oh, I hate it so much.
Yeah, in a way, I'm kind of glad I didn't go to public school because my mom is probably one of the most embarrassing people in that mom way that you've ever seen or heard of.
Uh-huh.
So, bullet dodge there.
My mom used to, when she would have to drop me off at school, she would show up in her curlers and like a robe and drop me off because, she was like...
Yeah, I've been to public outings with my mother in a Patriots hoodie from my stepdad, who is a lot bigger than her. So she's just this blob of fucking sportswear, and curlers in the hair is not far off.
Yeah, she would scream at the top of her lungs. She's like, "I love you. Make good choices."
Yes.
I still remember that.
So there's a post office story in my family where we were coming out of the post office and I was jumping down the steps to get up there. It was like quite like more than usual to a building. Like it was a bunch of steps, and I was jumping down and I didn't see this guy in front of me, and I jumped and like sort of held on to him for a second. I was like 8 years old, 7 years old, something like that. And the guy was like, whoa. And I was like, oh, my God. I like ran away. That guy, dispersed from my family in a expedient manner. And then later, my mom saw the guy in the parking lot, and she's like, from pretty far away, she's like, sorry. This is like 10 minutes later. And I'm like, I don't think that's him, because why would he still be here? He was going to leave. Like, and she's like, no, that was him. And we drove by him. We drove by him. It was definitely not him. But she was still like, sorry. She's like,
I'm sorry. And this guy's like, what the fuck is happening?
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. It's pretty good.
That's kind of hilarious, actually. Anyway, do you want to talk about video games?
That's all I had in my notes. Tell random story from the post office from 11 years ago.
From your childhood?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So,
Amazing.
Yeah, what did you play this week?
Okay, so I played I played a couple of games this week. I was playing Devil's Daggers off stream. Devil Daggers, not Devil's Daggers, even though that sounds way better. Devil Daggers. I was playing that off stream and I PB'd. I'm at like 211 seconds now.
Nice.
I got a whole extra
like 12 seconds
11 seconds
from last
11.
time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I was 199. You're right. 12 seconds.
Yep.
It's better
I know
than
everything.
12 minutes.
12 minutes. Yeah, everything's better than 12 minutes. Okay.
Oh, shots fired. I did play some more Dying Light. I haven't gotten too much further in the story. I've just been fucking running around and having way more fun running around being an idiot.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that. I've heard very mixed things about the story.
Yeah, the story's not...
It also it seems like they went backwards, which is, in my mind, impossible, because I didn't like the first game. The story I thought was fucking terrible. But apparently, everyone else has now realized that it's awful. Maybe it's because we've had a string of good years of, like, video game stories.
Yeah, I think
that people are like, whoa, this is pretty bad.
Yeah, I think maybe that's what it is. But speaking of older games, I have been playing The Forest with my roommates, Phil and Zach. And we hadn't played it in a while. And so we finally sat down on Saturday after I got off work. And we beat the game. And I'm going to say this about... Yeah, we beat it. Oh. We got to the end. There's 2 endings.
Is this your first time?
Yeah, this is my first time playing through it.
Okay.
Because, like, when I first played the game, I played it when it was, like, in early access, and there was no story. So all you did was run around, build things, and kill cannibals. There was, like, no premise or what was happening. And so, you're chasing after your son the entire time and trying to find these cannibals, and you're, like, trying to figure out what's happened. And like, there's all these crazy-ass creatures and all this other scary fucking culty shit happening. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? It takes an unexpected turn. I did not expect what was going to happen. And I was completely just turned on my head. It is so good, the twist that happens at the end, because I was not expecting it at all. It is so good. I am like utterly shocked.
I wasn't prepared for this. Really?
I was so shocked, Portz. Absolutely shocked. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Is it like so good that it's worth me like sticking through that game?
I think so.
What?
I think so. Yeah. Get a couple people to play with you.
How long does it take?
It took me, I think we played a total of 23 hours. No. It's got to be less than that. I think we each played like maybe 14, 16 hours, something in there.
Yeah,
because I had a few hours in it.
But you knew how to play it pretty well, right?
They did. Phil and Zach did.
Okay.
Yeah, they basically held my hands really hard, and I was the big dumb baby. But they were like, "Go forward, you go first," and I would scream my head off and cry the entire time. But it was great, and the ending was just so good. And there's 2 endings. And I chose the ending that I thought was morally correct, but that's not the canon ending. So I looked it up later because, like, they're like, yeah, look up the second ending because we would have to go back and reload everything in order to get the other ending. And I didn't want to waste time. And so I looked it up online, and I found out the other ending, which is technically kind of really fucked. Like, morally fucked.
Oh.
And that's canon. And that's what's going to lead into the second game.
The canon one is the fucked up one?
Yeah, it's so fucked.
I respect the shit out of that.
Really fucked.
As somebody who finishes games with the bad endings all the time, I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, yeah. It was just
Is it likely? I don't know what the mechanics are to get a good ending or a bad ending. Is it likely I'll hit that moral
It's literally
bad
just
one?
an end.
It's just like a decision.
Yeah, it's a decision at the end.
That's less interesting.
You either do the thing, or you just go back, and it's just really fucked. It was so good. I was like utterly shocked, And they're like, were you expecting that? I'm like, absolutely not expecting any of that. It was so fucking batty. It was good, though. And, like, Zach's like, come to this room. He's like, you're missing all the story. And I'm like, do-do-do-do-do.
Okay.
Looking at all the stupid shit on the wall like I do. Anyway, so we beat that. It was good. Blood West was a game I got a key from the developers, because I love, you know how much I love fucking low poly, old school looking games, and this is one of them. And it looks so good. And I'm not going to lie, everything about this game looks so good. But I will complain, the stealth is very difficult to get used to at first, and there was just times where I died and I died and I died. But once you level up and you start getting like some stuff, it feels really fucking good, and it starts to feel a lot of fun sneaking up on all these weird demon things and murdering them all. And the voice actor who does the main character has a really nice voice.
Oh,
but
okay.
It gets also repetitive.
Oh.
A little bit. He just says he's like, always can use more bullets or something like that. And I was like, he can say some other things because I like his voice.
Yeah, that's kind of been a problem for me in games recently. Like, repeated dialogue needs to chill the fuck out. Like, do we really think it's good to have this many repetitions, like, over just shutting the fuck up? I don't think so.
I think it's a nod to older games like Duke Nukem, having to say, hey,
I don't
think so,
because
everything.
modern games do it too. I think people are just like, they're nervously filling the air.
Nervously filling the
air. Like, nothing's been said. It's kind of weird, but I think this is something that happens when you develop a game, right? And then let's say you test that level like 100, 200, 1,000 times. You're going to start to notice tiny things that no one else is going to fucking notice. You know, like, I don't know. I just think it's like over QA'd maybe.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. I could agree with, like, I don't know. You don't have to always fill in the dead air. Like,
yeah, I mean, what about silent protagonists? They're great.
Yeah. I'm totally okay with silent protagonists.
Yeah. Or, I don't know. Just regular dialogue. It doesn't have to, like, I don't talk to myself out loud all the time. If it's a game like Batman Arkham, like, it kind of makes sense for him to be talking all the time, but not repeated shit, because he's just thinking. Yeah. You know, that's Batman just thinking out loud, like, not out loud, but like you're the player and you're supposed to be in on it, basically.
Yeah.
But this shit out loud, that's like, I gotta do this, or I'll reload, blah blah blah. Like, you're the only one around. Who the fuck is this for?
Could always use more bullets. Yeah, it was a little weird.
Christ.
It was a little weird. I got to the end. I kept dying to the final boss because I wasn't expecting to happen. But the guns feel really good. They feel really like old westerny because everything is like western. I got like this bow knife and I just fucking started stabbing everything. And I have a Winchester, and it was a lot of fun. Eventually, I started ignoring the stealth mechanic and just, like, sneaking up on guys and then just stab. And so, yeah, it was good. It was good.
Cool. Good. That's awesome. Did you beat that?
No, I'm at the very end. I didn't. I tried the final boss, like, twice before I ended stream, so I'm going to go back to it next week, I think.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. But, honestly, that's all I played this week. I kind of had trying to fix my fucking Adobe this week. So, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I mostly did my own tech support. But anyway, what did you play? Let's talk about the 3 games you played.
Well, hang on. I played.
Oh.
I played Grounded, so that counts.
Okay, that counts. 4 games.
But I didn't play RuneScape, so it is 3 games. I think. Okay, so Grounded. Let's talk.
Yeah, let's talk.
Fabian and I are actually too good at the game now. We're done with it. Pretty much. We could kill the Broodmother again, but we're both kind of like, we'll see. There's a couple more pieces of gear that we could get, but it's also like, why? There's no content to do with it, so I think we're just gonna table it for now.
Yeah.
Now, so saves carry over now. Between
okay.
updates. So now we're in a good spot to just, finish new content in a couple of hours probably.
That's kind of nice. Okay.
Yeah, it is nice. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And then we can spend the rest of our energy on like a base or something, because the last 2 times we played, we basically didn't really do a base because we're just like, what's the point if we're gonna have to wipe again? But now,
yeah,
it's not gonna wipe, so we could start on like a bigger base.
That'd be nice, actually. Like less sadness, I guess. That's one of the things I do like about Minecraft is like when you do wipe, it's like a new day, and like, but I'm kind of weird about that. But like, yeah, if you're constantly having to do it every like couple of months,
I like to do it on my terms, right? Like, if we want to wipe, we can wipe, but I don't want to have to do it because the developers are like, we added a new thing. It's like, just add the new thing to what we've been doing. So that's in there now, which is great. That game continues to be a fucking amazing video game.
Very nice, very nice.
And it hit, I think, 10 million people have played that game now. Pretty big.
Really?
You wouldn't think, because not very many people talk about it. But
no, I'm actually kind of surprised. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It helped. It was, it's been on Game Pass since day one. So.
I guess, yeah. Yeah. Okay. How long has it been out for in early access now? 2020?
Like a year and some months. Yeah. 2020 something. Yeah.
That's not too bad.
They're supposed to hit 1.0 this year, so yeah.
Oh, is it full release this year? Okay.
Later this year, I think. That's the weird article I read, but it was not from like a Game Informer or IGN. It was like some sort of weird survival game only website I've never fucking heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, lots of Grounded, but that's done now. We're moving on. I played some Dota also, but that's not worth talking about. The thing that is worth talking about, is Daddy's got a new game to play.
I should have made that a cookie today.
It's called Lost Ark, which is a Korean MMO from 2019. Finally come to us lowly Americans.
Yep.
Who have played the shit out of it, apparently.
Yep.
It is breaking records. Asmongold's got the most viewers he's ever had. I saw Ko at the most viewers he's ever had. Like, holy Lord. This thing's blowing everything out of the water.
Yeah, it's cool. It's pretty crazy because, like, I heard about it when it was first originally released in Korea, because I used to play a lot of Korean MMOs, and it was like my jam back then. And so when I heard about Amazon partnering with the actual original developers to release it in America, I was like, oh, that's a smart move, Amazon. You don't have to worry about anything. They do all the work for you.
Just have them take care of the game. True.
And then Amazon supplies the fucking
the logo
servers
in the front. Oh, yeah.
But tell me, what do you think about this style of MMO, I guess?
Okay, so it is very similar to Korean MMOs I've played in the past, like Conquer Online. Except that it seems less grindy. Like, everyone's like pretty much at end game now, except for me, because I haven't had enough time to play. But end game is a loose term. Max cap, like level 50 basically means nothing as far as I've been told. This is like most of my knowledge of the game has nothing to do with anything I've experienced, so I'm like hoping all of it's true. But the end game sounds really fun. There's like fucking sailing and visiting different islands where there's apparently like little themes to the island. Like there's an homage to like Final Fantasy Island, and there's like an island of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and like,
oh, that's cool.
somebody was asking the developer if they're like, hey, Squid Game is pretty popular. Are you gonna do anything like that? Like, hey, these islands can do whatever we want. I was like, holy shit, that's cool. Land free of copyright. Like, Jesus Christ. I think they're probably generic versions, but they're clear homages, which is dope. But I have not gotten there yet. What I've done so far is level 3 characters to level fucking 18. As people decided what servers they were going to land on, and then I started over to play with Fabian as well. And yeah, that's right. I'm getting her into it. Why not?
Yeah, obviously. You
Although she said, like, the first time we played, she was like, I'm not going to let an MMO ruin my life. I was like, that's not my motivation. I don't want you to lose your life to this game.
Babe, I'm not going to let an MMO ruin my life.
Yeah. Also, is this just a comment about the way I play video games? Are we okay? So I got to view what she thinks of my life pretty starkly there. And yeah, so tonight, Valentine's Day, we're gonna have a good couples therapy session. That should be good.
After the podcast, obviously.
Actually, they're joined into the call right now, so they can hear me shit talking her behind her back, and then also as she's listening to the podcast later. So it's kind of a weird situation.
Okay. So she's gonna be in on the call, and then she has to listen to it later because the obligation of being your significant other.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. We have to have at least one listener every week. Okay, so Lost Ark.
Yeah.
The combat is incredible.
Oh, okay.
Probably the best feeling ARPG combat that I've encountered.
Ooh, better than Diablo?
One of my favorite genres. Way better than Diablo. Light years ahead of Path of Exile.
Yeah, I was going to say Poe.
Path of Exile to me is a clunky piece of shit.
Damn.
Which is why I never really got into it. I played like 40 hours of that game, but I just didn't. I was only doing it because I was desperate for a game like that. Lost Ark, I had a lot of reservations about. I didn't even want to play it, but then I was like, it's free. I'll just launch it, and then I cannot stop. It's a chore for me to be on this podcast right now because I would like to be playing that game.
I'm so sorry that you are obligated to make content with me one day a week.
Yes, it's difficult. All right. It's a really fun game. And I think, I think the combat is the majority of the reason. The progression feels really fun. They do a lot of wonky, weird things that I don't know if they're like Korean staples or something, but they start you out at level 10, which is a little weird.
Yeah.
Because I've created 3 alts now, and every time I start off, I'm like, damn, I'm like level 12 already? Like, I just started like 30 minutes ago. But that's level 2, basically. And then the cap is only 50. It just doesn't feel like enough. And I think it's because the progression is like exploration, and like the levels aren't that impactful. I mean, they impact a lot, but once you have 50, it just doesn't. Let's put it this way. When you get a character to level 50, you get a free 2-person level to 50 immediately. You have to do it one time to get 2 characters to level 50. So it's kind of weird how they like undervalue their own system. It is great because it's like, we know why you're here.
We know why you're here.
Which is great. Yeah, I can't wait. So I need to get to a level 50 pretty quickly. And then I can speak to a lot more of this game. I don't know if it's going to be next week. It might be the week after. My work's been hell this month. But progression, very cool. The exploration, there's so much shit. Okay. You know, like GTA, it's got the feathers or the pigeons to find. The GTA 4 had the pigeons to find. Assassin's Creed has like the feathers to find. Like open world games just have this shit. It's like it doesn't.
Item to find, it
doesn't do a ton. Maybe it gives you an achievement. Maybe you get some cool armor or something. It's a small part of the game, but it's like everywhere.
Yeah.
This has like 7 of those, and one of them has 1,209 things to find.
Look out, Dying Light. This game has more content than you.
Oh, yeah, for sure it does. Did I mention sailing? It's like Black Flag. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it a lot.
That's exciting. That's actually really cool. I like a game that would focus more on, like, exploring the actual game than, like, having to do raids, getting to max level, do it again. Ah!
I think there still is that. Like, there's a lot of raiding and stuff happening.
Yeah.
But there's also PvP, which I was a little surprised by because I don't know enough about PoE, but I don't think there's any PvP in that, or if it is, no one does it.
In Path of Exile, I'm not sure, but like in a lot of other Korean MMOs, like it's a big focus on Ragnarok. Like, so Ragnarok Online, when I played that, there was this thing called I forgot what it was, War of something, but basically each of you, your guilds would fight each other and try to capture like these towers or these castles and points, and basically you would hold it until the next one happened.
So
and
like
it was
New
usually
World.
in a weakest base. Yeah, it was basically like New World, where you capture these points and stuff like that. And that was a big thing. And same with Lineage and Lineage 2. I didn't play Lineage 2 as much, but PvP in Lineage 1 was a big deal because like the more people you killed, the more red you would go, and if you got too red, you couldn't even interact with like the towns and stuff like that because they would start to hate you because you were killing all the other players.
Damn.
And then like it had like its own meta to it because it was back before like Discord, and like even Ventrilo was really big, so everybody would go on the forums and you would put bounties on people who was being like fucking assholes. Yeah, old school. Put a bounty on his head.
That's cool.
Go to the forum. Go to complain. And yeah, it was. So like a lot of Korean MMOs like do a lot of PvP stuff. So I'm not kind of surprised to hear that. But are you gonna try the PvP?
Maybe. But the reason I brought it up is because ARPGs struggle with PvP, like balancing PvP and having it be fun. But I saw some people do PvP on stream, and it actually looked kind of fun. It kind of seemed like Battle Right, which I mean that failed almost immediately, but it looked fun. I don't know if it's still going to be active by the time I get there, but yeah, I look forward to it if it's like a real thing. Apparently, there's like weekly stuff to do in it, and yeah.
Okay.
Everything is its own thing. There's a fucking card system. There's a stronghold thing where you like, I don't even know. People describe that as like a mobile game within it. Like it's got, look, this game is just an amalgamation of systems basically. There's just shit everywhere, which fits really well when your game plays great. You know, like it's just, I don't think I'm ever going to run out of things to do, especially with, you know, I play other games. But even someone who plays only this game, like it's gonna take a long time to finish this game.
Yeah, like it just constantly. It's like a mobile game that has like 50,000 other elements to it besides the one thing that you downloaded it for, and it somehow just keeps you addicted.
Yeah. So speaking of mobile games, there's a component to this game that some gamers don't appreciate.
Oh, what?
Called pay to win.
Ooh, are we gonna get into it? Is it time?
But you know, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this question came from PewPew of the
PewPew.
BBA, my Dota team. Sounds so official. This is PewPew from BBA.
The PewPew from the BBA.
From the BBA. Sounds like a disease. You have BBA. Sorry.
You have BBA. Bridge
You have
Burners
2 months to
Anonymous.
live. You have BBA.
You have to burn all your bridges.
Anonymously. If you tell them who you are, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
You have to go build a new friendship and then burn that one.
Start over. Ghost them.
So he asks specifically,
Yeah.
why are people all up in arms? What's the big deal with pay to win?
Okay.
I just wanted to float that question to you real quick. In general, like why would people be upset that it's pay to win? What's your perspective on that?
I usually avoid pay to win because I would rather acquire things through my time and through my skill than rather paying Daddy Bezos or whoever in this case a bunch of money in order to get that status. It's like hats, so I don't buy hats either. And I know you're a big hat collector, Mr. I'm gonna buy a fucking, what was the skin you were threatening? Oh, Dwarven sniper. You were threatening to get another fucking sniper skin and like burn it or something.
Sniper.
Yeah. I think so. I can't remember. It was last week or the week before.
Space snipers. Yep.
Yeah.
$200, almost $300, I think.
Jesus fucking Christ, what's wrong with you?
I was joking. I wouldn't do that again. I sold that set, by the way.
You sold that set. You're so proud of yourself for saying that. But I know a lot of people like me. That is an old school mentality. Is like getting things based off of your skill, or like achieving something based off of like your skill and your time and your like energy put into something. So I know that's why a lot of people like that. I don't really care if it's pay to win or not. Like I said, I tend to avoid games like that, which is why I haven't even tried this game yet. I might try it in the next week or so. We'll see. But also, it doesn't, if it's like, it is game breaking, or it's, I don't know how to say it in a way. Because, like, no matter what you do, if you're like a free player, person who pays for nothing or doesn't pay, you won't be as good as the person who does end up paying. So they always will have that advantage over you, no matter what. No matter how good your skill is, no matter what, that person, no matter, like, it doesn't matter. They'll be better than you. They'll most likely be better than you.
Right.
And it just kind of puts that weird, like, thing on there. But, like, in some games, I think it's fine. Like in Smite. Say Smite. It's another MOBA style game. I paid for the $30 for that. What did that do? It gave me all of the fucking heroes. A lot of people were calling it pay to win at the beginning because that game's so fucking old. But nowadays, that would be considered normal. And so I think that's, as much as I hate to say it, it's kind of going the way of normal things. Like having loot boxes and buying hats is kind of becoming more and more normalized.
It is pretty expected, yeah.
Yeah, it's become the standard. Like, you will spend money on this free.
I will say, from a MOBA perspective, I much prefer Dota, which I have spent way more than $30 on, and I didn't have to buy any of the characters. And in that way, it's not pay to win at all.
Yeah.
So I think there's definitely, I don't know if buying characters is really, I mean, technically it is definitely pay to win. But there's like different tolerances that people have, like whether they're into it or not. It wasn't like my motivation for choosing Dota, because it was like some friend that dragged me into it, kicking and screaming. But now that I'm into it, it's hard for me to imagine like sticking with a game where you have to earn your characters. Like, it just doesn't. It doesn't make sense. But from a newbie perspective, it almost makes sense, because it's like you're stuck with these characters, and then there's like a rotating, you can try ones every week, and you don't get overwhelmed with like, here's 200 characters you can choose from, you know?
Yeah.
So there's trade-offs with it. But I think in a competitive setting, the ideal is that nothing is behind a paywall that affects gameplay.
Yeah. I can agree with that. Like, I don't like things that are stuck behind a paywall that make it competitive or not. That's why I tend to avoid those games. That's why I tend to avoid EA games, and like any notion that it is going to be a pay to win game, because like New World mentioned it, and like as soon as New World mentioned that they may add pay to win features eventually, I was like, fuck this, no, goodbye. Sort of deal. My perspective on like the way Lost Ark does it, and I don't know exactly, but it does seem like it scales pretty infinitely, meaning if you dump more money in, you definitely get better, pretty much always. And that is probably like the best definition to use, especially when it comes to MMOs. Like, is there a cap on it? You know, like RuneScape used to have no cap, like,
or it used to have a cap. Like you spend the subscription and that's it. And then they introduced bonds, and then bonds you can sell to other players. So you can basically real world trade with Jagex, basically. Like, hey, here's some money. Give me some in-game money. Here you go. And that kind of changed my mind on how bad that stuff was, because it didn't affect my RuneScape experience at all.
Yeah.
At all. I mean, I don't even know that there are people out there doing it. I mean, there definitely are. Yeah. But I don't know. I can't tell. Like, it just doesn't affect me at all, because I'm not the top guy in the game. You know, like if I was the top guy in the game, I would have been like, holy fuck, they ruined this whole game. But yeah, it's not my situation. So, in this game, I'm not trying to be on the leaderboard. I don't have any illusions of that. So I think when you say pay to win, like, people automatically think it's bad, you know?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, pay to win? It's like fucking mobile game. And there are some mobile game aspects of this game.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
I'm not surprised.
But I think that there is a good case for this is just a good game, and you're not really going to notice any of the pay to win stuff. Even right now, I look at the shop. I don't know how any of that translates to anything in game. Apparently, you can buy things on there and sell it on the market or something.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not going to be privy to any of those sales that are happening. I'm just going to progress my character. Sort of like an Iron Man thing in RuneScape, where I mean, I'll probably trade with other players, but it feels so isolated. You know, like, even though it's an MMO, and by the way, there's people that bought like the big
founders,
the $60 packs, which is definitely not me. That have they're flaunting their crystal backer status or some shit like that. I don't know what the hell the title's called, but the title is like they're just flaunting that they spent money in the game, and I think it's so funny. So it's not a delineation from the game where it's like these are the people who spent the money, but there are a lot of people who spent the money and want other people to know about it, which is kind of funny. Because in RuneScape, it's a bad thing. If people suspect that you've like real world traded, most people just don't want to have anything to do with you.
Yeah, because I think it's a skill thing in RuneScape, and RuneScape is very old school.
It's like a pride thing. It's a grind thing.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't earn that. Like you basically don't have it
time.
to me.
Yeah, and I think that newer mentality is going to younger and younger games because they've been exposed to it. I guess you can say, in a way. They've dealt with it longer. It's been there their entire lives. Like, loot boxes was still new to me when I was like in high school, and I fucking hated the concept back then, and I still don't really like the concept now. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, but I grew up with loot boxes, and I love them.
I know you did. And
as long as they're cosmetic.
As long as there's cosmetic, yeah. Other than that, it's just fucking gambling with extra stats. But yeah,
well, it's still gambling. You just don't get any money out of it.
That's true.
It's like, I'm throwing my money away anyway. I don't expect to get any of it back, and in that way, it's different than gambling.
Yeah. Shit, what was I gonna say now? Oh, when Fallout first came out, for having a paid subscription to Fallout 76, I remember that was a big fucking deal because, like, the player base that had the subscription was going around calling people who didn't have the subscription peasants. And it was like a big deal, and it caused like this even more toxic relationship with the game, and I think that actually killed the game because of the toxicity between the two player bases.
You think that was it?
Super well, okay. There's a lot of fucked up shit, but it didn't help the situation.
The way that was fucked up was, how do you convince people that that was worth it? I just didn't see the value. And subscriptions were on the decline anyway. Like, it just wasn't the climate for a fucking subscription-based game.
No.
Let alone one that's not really an MMO.
Yeah. They should have just let people have servers. You should have let us have it, Bethesda, but you fucked up. God,
the best thing about your games is the community. Just saying.
The modded community. And you fucking took it away from us, and that's why that game continues to dwindle. And people wonder why the story sucks, because it's,
So I think when it comes to pay to win, there's no wrong opinion to have, except that pay to win automatically means the game's bad. But if you're disinterested because of that, you're like, I don't really want to be part of any of that. I think that's a totally acceptable thing.
Yeah.
But it's also acceptable to be like, I don't give a shit. Like, it's a great fucking game, and I'm going to get as far as I can go and see how it goes, which is my current stance. I don't know. Like, maybe it will impact me. Maybe at level 50, I'll fucking hate it because I'll see everybody with a bunch of shit, and I was late to the party anyway, so it's going to feel like everyone's ahead of me. So we'll see. And the PvP stuff, I imagine, is probably ruined by the pay-to-win stuff. I don't know yet, but it seems like it definitely will be.
Yeah,
unless
that's what I would assume would be fucked over is the
unless they have like gear scaling, right? Like if it's like everyone's on the same level, like then that'd be cool.
Then the pay to win people are gonna fucking freak out, and since that's their bread and butter, they'll fucking give in to those people.
Could be.
It happens a lot. That's what I predict. If they're not in there,
if they do that, I don't know. Maybe they're not. They might not be that way. I have no idea how the PvP works.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it did hit number 2 concurrent players this week.
Ever.
Just after 24 hours. Yeah, most concurrent players, they hit 1.311 million concurrent players. Now, the one thing that it didn't say was if they're in game or if they're stuck in queues, because I heard the queues are horrendous.
I mean, like any launch, they were bad, but there are no queues. I have never seen a queue.
Really?
Since I started playing. I started playing a day or two after it launched, I think.
Okay. Yeah, because I know a lot of people were complaining about the queues, that was one of the
got a little review bombed because of the queue situation.
Queues. Yeah,
what do you expect?
I don't know. Amazon.
Has there ever been a successful launch of an MMO? I guess not.
No. But Amazon hosts their own servers. You think that it would throw everything into it again?
But it's not as simple as turn on more servers. It's more like we just didn't expect having everyone connect at the same time is the problem. That much bandwidth is just on almost every service is just impossible.
Internet providers, get on it, figure it out, make it better. Google, stop fucking with Stadia. Become an internet provider again like you plan to. And then you drop the ball on that shit. What's with Google and dropping the ball? They're we're going to do this thing. And then they're like, maybe we'll get around to finishing it. Anyway, but yeah, they hit that. They beat out Dota, and they beat out CSGO. And CSGO and Dota and this game were neck and neck. So Dota was around 1.304, I think. So
that must have been 8 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. And then Counter-Strike Go was 1.295, I think.
Oh, I thought Counter-Strike was more popular, to be honest.
Yeah, Counter-Strike Go. I mean, yeah. How old is Counter-Strike Go? 5 years now? Something like that.
Oh, more than that.
Is it? Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm feeling old now. I'm feeling so fucking old.
I want to say it's closer to 10.
Oh. Anyway.
Yeah. One more thing on the pay-to-win stuff. I want to say, if they're, how to tell if it's a terrible pay-to-win situation, which, by the way, Lost Ark pretty much is. I'm not, even though I'm fine with playing it, if you are, super turned off by pay-to-win stuff, look at how much could how much better is somebody that spends $200 or $20,000 compared to somebody who spends $1,000 or $100. Is it better at $200,000? If it is, then that's a problem, because there's gonna be a bunch of those people and you'll never catch up to them.
Oh God, could you imagine somebody dropping 200? Actually, NFTs. Never mind. What am I saying?
I know. There's people spending way more on way less.
Oh, God, I fucking hate this planet. What is this timeline we're in?
What did rich people do before NFTs? Did they just burn their money? Did they just go, ha, look at this trash can full of cash?
Peasants! And then they would throw the money into the garbage.
Yeah.
They wipe their ass with it. I don't fucking know.
That
Cocaine?
sounds nice.
Lots
I
of
would
drugs.
do that.
Actually,
True.
drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs. Cocaine. Anyway, so the next thing I want to talk about, since we talked about ARC, is
forever. Sorry.
No, it's fine. That's what we wanted to talk about, because I was actually going to bring that up too, because I like I said, I haven't played the game and I might still try it. We'll see. But the thing I want to talk about, which made me laugh so hilarious this week, was Bowser versus Bowser.
Oh, yes.
Now, imagine meeting somebody whose last name is Bowser, and you make a snarky joke being like, oh man, you must really hate Mario. It either turns you into the villain that you destroy the company from within, or it turns you into the villain that destroys the company from outside. Outside the company.
And according to some sources, it's the same person.
It's the same person. Oh, God, that was so funny. I was laughing so fucking hard
All right.
because I... Nope.
So we should say,
yeah,
the what is he? The president of Nintendo of America?
Yes.
Is Doug Bowser.
Yes.
Who's the hacker guy? Gary Bowser.
Gary Bowser.
Okay, 2 different people, by the way.
2 different people. Yeah.
Involved with Mario. Named Bowser. Mr. Bowser.
Yeah. So, We all know that Nintendo has this great habit of going after hackers, especially their emulators. There is this group called Team Execute, something like that, or Executor, or something like that. But it's led by Gary Bowser, and he has a habit of modding.
It makes me laugh every time.
I know, it's so fucking insane. And it has a notorious business basically where he mods consoles and adds chips to them and basically jailbreaks the console so you can upload stuff to it and like do whatever the fuck you want to it. And they've done this for a lot of other consoles, but their specialty was the Switch recently. From reading this. Anyway, he was trialed, convicted. He got 40 months in prison. But the best part of this whole story was the news coverage on this. And a lot of people were confusing Gary Bowser, which is the actual bad guy, with Doug Bowser, the president of fucking Nintendo America. So when I first found this, and because the news sites with the video game news, they copy and paste what other people are basically reporting on and just fucking smear it as their own, just like I'm doing to you now. They're reporting it as Doug Bowser, and I was so confused when I was reading it. I'm like, there's 2 Doug Bowsers? And I was like, oh my God, this is
when
the
I
most
first read it,
thing.
I thought that Doug had gone rogue.
And
like,
I was like,
damn, dude.
I was like reading this and I was like, oh my God, it's like an anime. It's like your evil twin and he takes your name and then they're gonna fucking meet up in like a Western style and then the fucking anime strikes happen. It's like ping ping. And it's like, and then they just, I was just, my mind was blown when I was reading this and I was like, there's 2 Doug Bowsers. How could there be 2 fucking Doug Bowsers? But no, it's Gary Bowser, which is even funnier because
it's almost as crazy as 2 Doug Bowsers.
Oh my God, yeah. It's just...
Why? Neither of them, to my knowledge, have changed their name also.
No, that's their given name.
And I've never met anyone with the last name Bowser. It's not like Smith. You know?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, 2 Bowsers
Do
attacking.
you think getting teased in, well, I guess one or both of them are probably too old to have been teased on the playground for Bowser stuff, but
no, I don't think
no?
so. I think Doug
Bowser's
Bowser's
like in his 50s, isn't he?
Yeah. I bet you he's 56. I bet you he still got teased for Nintendo.
How old's Mario? 25, 30 years?
Mario was 1983, I think.
Jesus Christ! Never mind. I got my timelines wrong. All right. So yeah, maybe it drove them to their current professions, like you said.
Yeah, obviously. It was 85, I'm sorry. But still, I like,
Still,
yeah, it's almost as old as I am, 36 years old. So, yeah, I just fucking love that. They were reporting it was Doug Bowser, and then a lot of sites had to go back on it, like Yahoo. They're like, we're so deeply sorry to regret that we have reported this as Doug Bowser and not Gary Bowser. We deeply apologize.
You think Doug Bowser got woken up in the middle of the night? What the fuck is
what
going on over there?
What are you doing?
Why are you hacking shit? You're the president. Just make it the way you want.
We knew we shouldn't have hired a Bowser.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. 40 months.
Oh, yeah, he got 40 months in prison for basically, I don't know what all the it was a bunch of like minor charges that added up to the 40 months. So.
It's kind of a long time.
It is a long time. 3 years?
Probably doesn't matter that much what he did.
Stealing money, I guess. Damages. Lost damages was one of the things that he was charged with. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's some corporate bullshit. Did he really steal money because he had a product out there? I don't know.
They like to argue that, and obviously they argued in a case that let them win, and that's what Nintendo's good at.
Yeah. They're good at winning, except when it comes to console wars.
Oh, they're family focused. They're after the family business.
Oh, I'm sorry. So their player base is supposedly all ages? Doesn't that widen the demographic of people who would buy them?
Yeah, but remember how they were putting what is it, the Wii in old folks' home, trying to get old people to move?
What?
Wait, you don't remember that?
Not really.
It was like when the Wii first came out, they're like, oh my god, we could get old people bowling and all this other shit and Wii Sports and just have them like
No, you just made regular people lazier. They didn't want to go real bowling anymore. They just Wii bowled. And they could get a perfect score every time, so
I liked how they
never had to leave the house.
Yeah, they also advertised it that you're like, you'll get up and you'll move around. I still sat laying down on my fucking futon and I just waved the fucking wand in my hand.
That's one thing about VR where people are like, is it the future? I'm like, well, unless you want to be doing things all the time, no. You're probably still going to sit on the couch and do nothing. But maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, unless you're like full body, no. Unless you're unless you're like thousands and thousands of dollars into it, like pay to win almost. It's more like pay to future. And yeah, like my roommate has full VR and like he goes ham on everything in there and like he's constantly dancing and he moves and stuff like that. And that's what people think is the next meta.
I would get too tired. Like I just want to sit at my desk.
That's fair. That's me too. That's why I haven't been on VR for a while.
Also, ultra wide's almost as good.
You and your fucking ultra wide screen. It's so fucking
It's game
funny.
changing. It's amazing.
It's so fucking funny. Yeah, no, oh god damn it. What was I gonna say? That's another fucking thing. So in VR chat, if you don't have full body, you get made fun of. And if you fucking don't have any VR, you're a desktop pleb. That's just the rules.
Yeah, I feel like anyone on like the desktop is also just like an observer anyway. They're just like, what are these weirdos doing?
They're like, what the fuck is happening? This is supposed to be a free fun game, and it's all these weirdos shaking their ass and anime girls.
Wait, hold on. They do this every day after work?
Yeah.
Like going clubbing virtually. It's weird.
Yeah, you would go clubbing virtually. It was fun. It's a good escape. Anyway. Martha's dead.
Martha?
Yeah.
Martha Stewart?
Oh god, don't fucking bring that up, Martha. I lost my golden girl. You can't take Martha away from me too. I'd be so upset. I would be devastated.
You're a Martha Stewart fan?
I'm a big Martha Stewart fan.
So you support tax evasion?
Yeah. This is why I watch Legwing. No, anyway. So there's a game that's been coming out. It's been in the works for 4 or 5 years. I can't remember how long it's been in the works for. But it's by the developer LKA and being published by Wire Productions. Anyway, the reason why I bring up this game is it's being censored and only on the PlayStation. And at first, a lot of Sony soy boys were very angry about this whole situation, as they always are when something affects them. But people like read into why they were censoring it, and they were kind of like, so like a lot of people were arguing. They're like, oh my god, you let all the sex and the nude stuff and the very bad gore happen in The Last of Us 2, but then there's this. And I'm not going to say what happens. If you're very interested in what happens, go play the demo of the game or go look at the demo of the game because it's really fucked. But to be fair, this game is rated M, and it has been said multiple times by the publisher, Wired Productions, that this game should only be played by adults. And so Sony is forcing them to censor certain scenes in the game. And they released a statement after Sony, said this. And they said that they would agree to this and that they're going to make the changes. And but the PC and the Xbox versions are going to remain the original true game. And untouched for now. And the whole point of the company's game was that it is to have a lot of discomforting scenes and themes that are supposed to distress you. It is a horror game, and it is based in, like, I think Italy during World War II. World War II.
Okay.
I think it's like 1945, and I couldn't remember which World War it was. Look, listen, I don't remember, but it's supposed to distress you. It's supposed to fuck with you, and it is very fucky what happens in the demo.
Okay.
A lot of people
succeed?
were screaming. Yeah, they succeeded. And the thing is, Wired and LKA, the developer, have both been very upfront that this game was going to contain some stuff that makes you very uncomfortable. And like I said, I don't want to mention spoilers, but I've been looking forward to this game because of everything that I heard and everything that I talked about. And its fucked upness, of course, reading about this has spoiled some of the stuff from the demo, which made me a little sad, but
yeah,
it also...
The risk.
Yeah.
The risk you take.
This demo is what forced Sony to force the censorship. What really sucks about this whole situation is it puts LKA in now a crunch situation. So, just for the PlayStation gamers. They already announced that physical copies for the PlayStation are now going to have to be delayed.
Yeah.
And because it's scheduled on the 24th. And this was announced on the 11th. So, they literally gave them, like, 2 weeks, if that.
So, they must have already printed the discs, I imagine.
Yeah.
This sucks. Oh my God.
So now they gave them less than 2 weeks to fucking crunch this out and fix the censorship and like figure out how they're gonna rewrite.
Yeah, because you can't do a day one patch because many people are not gonna have it.
No.
And purposely so, probably.
Yeah.
They're like, nope, never update this game.
Yeah, and so it kind of makes me question: how do you feel about people like Sony or Xbox or even like Valve or Epic forcing games to be censored in order to be on that platform?
I think they can do whatever they want, because in some regard they do that already by not allowing some games on there. So it makes sense that they're I don't know what they saw that they don't agree with. Do
you want me to tell you and you can censor it out?
Not really. No.
Okay.
I don't have a problem hearing it. I just don't want to do extra work. But it doesn't really matter to the point. Like, I just think that it makes sense that they would do it, but it is a slippery slope if they, start being more stringent. This seems like an outlier and not more of a trend, So, like, whatever. If it's that important to you, either play it on a different platform or fuck fuck that. Just watch a fucking playthrough, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks for a couple of people, but I don't know. It's not like they let some egregious shit on there. Like GTA had a fucking scene where you torture somebody, you know?
Yeah.
That was on PlayStation, so all right. I don't know.
It's really weird how Sony has started like sort of like being very selective what is going on to their console. And like I was talking about this today on my stream, and apparently What Remains of Edith Finch was almost not on the PlayStation at all. And I was like,
really?
Why? I mean, like, yeah, it's a really depressing story, and there's some stuff that is very upsetting, but it's like, it's life. And it was like kind of weird, but in this situation, it's not sexual. It's just very gruesome what fucking happens.
Right.
And since it's a video game, unlike a movie, it's, it's interactive.
You're participating, yeah.
Yeah, you're participating. You're actively participating.
Is it Outlast 2 or Outlast 1 or something where your dick gets ripped off or something?
I think that's Outlast 2.
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, that's on these fucking platforms? Like, it does seem weird. Like, whatever they're censoring, they better be consistent about it.
Is it on the PlayStation? It is on the PlayStation. That's weird. Yeah, I don't understand why they would all of a sudden censor this game. And like I
need to see it myself.
Here, I'll type it to you real quick.
No, but I kind of want to see like what it really is. Like, it could be, unless you've seen it. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen it.
But it might be in a more explicit way. Like in PG-13 movies, or no, it's not PG-13. Yeah, the PG-13 movies, you can't see like the penetration of a sword like puncturing skin, basically.
Oh, okay.
But that can still happen in your movie. You just kind of cut away and the blood splatters. It's like really quickly implied, and it's pretty similar to having the experience anyway. It's just the insertion is the thing, and it's like, does that really, like, who made that line? Like, maybe this is one of those things, where it's sort of abstract. Like it's like other stuff that's been there.
It's not abstract. It's very there.
No.
Oh,
no, I understand, but that's what I'm saying. Like the comparison between this and another game like Outlast, like maybe theirs was abstracted enough to, but this one's like, oh, you see the dick, like
you see the dick get ripped off in this situation.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's all I'm saying. So maybe it's like similar to other stuff that's been in video games, but not, it's framed too specific, too viscerally maybe.
I think it's too viscerally in this situation. And I watched a lot.
And that's fair. I kind of appreciate that. Did you see the clip of the chick sucking on the fucking fake ear on Twitch go around?
Yeah.
That feels like too much.
Yeah, that's a little bit much. She got banned. It was really funny because like Lauren, who Lauren the Short, she does ASMR on the side every once in a while, on another channel, and there was a fucking bad guy in the game making like these weird sucking sounds, and she's like, I didn't know this was an ASMR stream, and I'm like, oh no.
That's funny.
It was funny. I was like, oh, I'm like, okay, I'll let her make the jab since she does ASMR. It was just so funny. It was just so funny. But yeah, no, it was bad.
Yeah.
That was weird. Why? Just fucking, what was that person thinking?
It works.
I mean,
look how much attention she got. If she's on any other platform where people can see her do that to a real thing or something, or even other objects, like, she probably monetized. That's all I'm saying.
I think, yeah. And like with the way that Twitch bans work now, it's like a vacation.
And also, they've been pushing. Yeah, that's true too. If you're a big earner, yeah. I don't know. So people have been pushing Twitch's boundaries for a long time. Like people, constantly.
Yeah.
And hot tub streamers got their own category. So she, in the back of her mind, was maybe like, maybe there's an ear sucking category in my future. Who knows?
I think honestly, like I think I mentioned this when we first brought up the hot tub stream meta. Is like I think Twitch should just have a subdomain and it just be fucking loot. Just have it. Just do
Twitch
it.
After
it's
Dark.
money.
We talked about it.
Yeah, Twitch After Dark. Just do it. Just
get into that filthy money.
Look, it's fine. It sells. We all know this. It would be fucking super fucking huge. Super huge.
Yeah.
And then it's not the Twitch name. And so Twitch is so far away from Amazon, people aren't going to be like, I'm not buying from Amazon because they have the subdomain. I just knocked over my fucking junior mints in that argument.
Oh no.
Oh no. They're all over my desk. No. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's silly how people get upset over fucking tits and ass. Why? They're tits and ass. Everybody likes them.
Not everyone. How dare you?
You don't like ass?
I thought you were more inclusive than that. No, I'm not saying. I'm saying not everyone does.
Look, guys, gals, non-binary pals, everybody could appreciate it.
But not all of them. Not everyone. There's people who aren't attracted to anything.
That's true.
How dare you?
I think they could appreciate a butt.
Every single one of them? You're going to talk for their entire community? This is fucked up. This is a podcast too far. I don't stand behind this one. No, I'm just kidding.
Fair enough.
Look, on certain platforms, I understand 100% why people get upset about tits and ass. Because it's like, I don't want to be sitting there watching Diablo 2 and then get the sudden need to jerk off. It's a separate area, you know?
Oh.
Let me seek it out. I don't need it shoved in my face.
You don't need it constantly shoved in your fucking face.
Not everywhere. I mean, enough places for options, sure, but that exists already. And maybe there's a couple more. It's fine.
Yeah. We'll see. It's just fucking. It's chaotic. Who knows? Just don't go to.
What the fuck were we talking about originally?
I don't fucking remember. We went into a tangent. We started talking about Martha is dead and gruesome things, and then somehow it led to fucking tits and ass on Twitch.
Everything does. The algorithm loves it.
The algorithm loves it. Yep. Anyway.
Do we have more news?
No, that's it. That was the news. There was one other thing that I found, but I didn't really. It was just a fucking ignoramus post, and these fuckers didn't have anything for me to comment on, so I was gonna take it to my tiny platform and make fun of them. Let me see. And of course, it's some older person who made this post.
What?
Okay, so
what are you talking about?
Okay, sorry. I found this post. It's on the. It's a fucking UK post talking about the police issuing a warning to parents about Huggy Wuggy video game. And
what?
It's so
Huggy Wuggy?
Yeah. Okay. Huggy Wuggy is a character from Poppy Playtime, and he's a big, scary fucking character. And he chases you and eats your face if he captures you. And the funny thing is, the police are warning parents about new video games containing it's not suitable for children. Yes, it's a fucking horror game rated M for mature. If you're fucking letting your kid play something called Poppy's Playtime and you're not looking at the fucking cover.
On what platform did the police suggest people should watch out for this?
The best thing is the game is, this is what the person reported. This person obviously knows dick about video games and is reporting on it because they're in a small tiny town in the UK that I'm not going to say.
Yeah.
And then anyway, they said the game is available on platforms such as YouTube and Roblox. It made me laugh so hard. It's so fucking
I can play this game on YouTube?
You can play this game on YouTube. No.
Oh.
And there's other things like video games are available to watch on YouTube and other clips dedicated to Huggy and his songs.
This game is... this TV show is watchable via The Office and Roku. What?
But yeah, so like they're like one of the songs in the lyrics says, quote, "I can hug you here forever until your last breath is our last breath together." I love the fact that the police are warning about a video game character on a platform that isn't. He's not on Roblox. Like he's in another entirely different game. There may be references to him in that game, but I bet you there's also Five Nights at Freddy's references in there, but nobody's talking about that. They're just making fun of poor
they don't know how.
They're like, animatronic? That sounds like Mickey Mouse and the other mouse one that I can't think of, Chuck E. Cheese. There we go. I got it.
Hey, equally popular.
But then the police reminded people that, like, you need to pay attention to what your kids are doing, not just trusting YouTube Kids, because apparently some of these videos were leaking it to YouTube's kids.
Ah, okay. I mean, that is probably a problem.
But yeah, so the police have seen some schools where they're seeing children recreate the game in their playground, hugging and whispering nasty things into the recipient's ear.
I mean, that just sounds like middle school.
That's what I was thinking.
It doesn't sound very different. Copper.
You could. I just fucking.
At least it's quotes from a video game they might appreciate, not your weird fucking thoughts.
It's just so funny.
If you think what that video game has in it is fucked up, wait till you be in the mind of a middle schooler.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Jesus fucking
dark
Christ.
Shit.
You don't want to know. And then they want corn dogs for lunch.
That'd probably help. Calm them down. Put them in that sugar coma they deserve.
But yeah, they reminded parents to watch what their kids are watching on YouTube. And then if you're not sure what they're watching, to go to their profile and monitor their situation.
Having kids is a lot of work. The real answer is don't have kids.
It's true. Just adopt cats. Just have millions of cats.
Exactly.
Oh, but yeah, this person obviously knows nothing about video games. There was no things to comment on, and I was just like, and then I started looking at where this is, and I'm like, oh, you're a fucking tiny town in the middle of goddamn nowhere. Okay. I'm not going to worry about it. You have no idea, and you have nothing else to talk about, so you're worried about a video game character, and the police is reporting on it.
How many of these stories where it's like, oh my God, this is a problem, come from somebody who has no idea what else to write about? Is it most of them? It's probably most of them.
It has to be most of them. It's like what?
Like the Squid Games thing, and people are like, "Oh my God, kids are recreating this." It's like, did you watch it? They got the ideas from kids.
Yes.
And are the children murdering each other? No. Then what the fuck is the problem?
Adults are the problem. Humanity is the problem.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck everything. Anyway.
Hey, if you have kids, like we said, let them listen to this show. They'll get all the knowledge they need. They're not going to be a pure little saint, but guess what? Your kid's a piece of shit anyway. So.
Yep. That's it for the news.
Lesson learned.
That's
the moral of the story.
That's the moral of the story, everyone. Good job. Proud of you, Portz. Thanks for...
Don't pay too close attention to your kids because it will shock you.
It'll terrify you. God, all the horrible shit I did when I was a fucking teenager. Jesus Christ. My mom's like, why don't you want a kid? They'll just be like you. And I'm like, yeah, you don't want to know how much of a shithead I was. You already knew that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for the news. Thanks for listening, I guess.
Yeah. More every episode, more and more. I'm thankful that someone listened to it.
Yeah.
Even if it's just me in the editing.
Aww.
Hey, me. You're doing a great job.
You're doing a great job, Portz. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Good editing.
It meant more when I said it to me, but I do appreciate it.
I'm sorry. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitch and Twitter at Evil Space Funny and the Real Portz, and ignore Backlog. And if you have any questions for us, like PewPew did, please send them to us. We like talking about that shit. Me and Portz
send them.
Love going through that shit. So that was the
YOLO. Send it. You know what I'm saying?
That was a good one about Lost Ark, honestly. So
I agree.
Thanks for that one, PewPew.
And topical.
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 Okay, goodbye.